ahead, take ramp to US 422 West.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Time with Jesus Truck Talk. So, I'm sure we all can agree on one thing right now. What a mess this world is. And I mean truly a mess. I know a lot of people's been talking about the whole Diddy thing, the elections, and my response is, thankful for the people that email me and comment, and those of you that do comment. I appreciate the ones that's been giving the likes up, whether you comment or not. That to me is a comment because you like the videos. And I just looked at the weekly recap. Yeah, we're dropping down a little bit in some of the areas, which
1 mile ahead, take ramp to US 422 West.
Turn this down a little bit. It's okay. I mean, it just basically the videos won't go to the far out where they're going. But I hate to say it, but the United States it's not doing so well. It looks like Canada, Australia, England. But they're using subtitles and stuff. There's more people watching right now with subtitles, so I'm gathering it's probably in these other countries.
0.3 miles ahead, take ramp to US 422
sometimes
West.
you just sit there and
Road
you think about
Northwest.
that, and you're going, wow. And I just before I get on with what I'm going to do,
422 West,
I just want to say, I do want to apologize. I do want to apologize because prior videos back, I was coming against people that was constantly asking for people to subscribe, people to like the videos. Right. Subscriptions and the likes, it does a lot. But my thing is, I'm doing it. I don't know. Let me rephrase this before I say it wrong and somebody's going to come against it. I don't know someone's heart. I just know the videos that you're watching. I watch a lot of these toy hunters, and I know a lot of their stuff is for probably popularity, so get sponsors, get paid, that kind of stuff.
12.3 miles ahead,
now,
turn right on Ohio 88 North Madison Road.
If you're doing this stuff for a living, that's great. Now, some people ask me, Nelson, do you think it's godly to watch these toy hunters and stuff like that? That's a good question. Here's my thoughts. First of all, everything is between God and the individual person. I will stop watching something if it starts going into cussing and acting worldly and doing stuff like that. Especially if they claim to be Christians. Now, I know a couple of my videos I got heated up, and there was one toy hunter I used to watch that he got heated up about somebody coming against him because he wore an election hat that was for Trump. And personally, I think that's kind of really pathetic for somebody to do that to somebody because that's their beliefs. You choose to follow Satan. We choose to follow God. Who can come against who? In the long run, God's coming against all of it because He's not even going to have to punish them. They're going to punish themselves in hell. Have mercy and have pity on these people, and all we can do is pray. Pray for the people that come against us. So, that being said, I think what draws my line is when they start buying these horror things. And I watched another video. The guy always says, love ya. I think he mentions, God bless you or something at the end of his videos. I don't know. But he always says love you and stuff like that. He just seems like a real peaceful person. But the fact I can't get over that he loves to buy these Ouija boards and all this horror stuff, and they have this horror stuff in their house. And again, I'm not judging them. If God accepts him into heaven, God accepts him into heaven. just personally myself, I can't even watch that stuff. Now, do I like his videos? Yeah, because he goes into great detail about that. Does other people copy him? Yes, and I can't stand it. I can't stand when someone else starts copying somebody else's channel and acts like them. There's another guy that he copies this other toy hunter that I started watching, and it drives me crazy that you can't just be yourself. Stop trying to act like other people. That's the problem with the world. We're too busy acting like other people. We're too busy trying to gain this, whatever you're trying to gain off of this. And there was one particular video that he did that he had his son and some other person with him. And I mean, they're just like ripping this guy down. They went on a private hunt thing at this guy's house. And I mean, I get the frustrations. I've been there myself. You know, I've been to people's houses where I went to look at toys and stuff, and it was kind of like, felt like they lied to me and wasted my time to come all the way out there. Because in the same token, what this guy went through, everything was supposed to be for sale, but not everything was for sale. It's almost like they wanted me to do like a video of their toy collection that they were supposed to be getting rid of. Then I went on another one and bought a bunch of Star Wars toys, and the guy gave me a big line spiel that he was breaking up and moving, he has to move and all this stuff. And then I find out later on, I go back on there and I see this big movie poster that, now what I paid for all this stuff, now granted, I mean, I bought it, it's mine, you know, I accepted the deal. A lot of stuff was missing. There was missing parts off of a lot of the stuff. He told me that the Millennium Falcon worked. That is not true. It doesn't work. He told me all the sound effects work on him on the space. No, that doesn't. That's not true. That's not true. Well, I didn't bring batteries. You know, I was in a hurry. From where I was at, I wanted to get back because I had some other stuff to do, and I was on a time crunch because I was home. It was one of my home time days. And so, matter of fact, I think I had to go pick up Darlene. I think I had to be back in time to pick her up. And so then you just go off this whole thing, and then I end up seeing this movie poster, and I was thinking, and I even commented to him when I found out he was reselling some of this stuff, because in the picture he showed 2 Falcons. So I'm thinking, well, that's cool. If one don't work, maybe I can take the parts from one and dissect one, and I can always have one for parts, because I'm always thinking about this one scene that I want to do. Kind of like anyways, I'm not going to say it because somebody will do it, and I still want to do it. But my thing was this. Then when I got there, he says, well, there's only one Falcon. I sold the one, and you know, the one in the picture I forgot to mention to you, and I'm going, so now I'm already starting off kind of pissed. Then I find out again, this is the same guy selling it, because I'm thinking, when I'm paying for this, and what you're telling me, that's changed, and some of the stuff wasn't complete that he said was, I'm thinking, I'm looking at that post, well, if you're moving and you got to pack everything into a Jeep, then why not just give me the picture? How are you going to take that? Because he said he's not going to be able to really take anything with him. What he told me. Then I see that poster and some other stuff that he said he was going through his storage shed and found some more Star Wars stuff. Now, what you did was you handpicked stuff out of that collection and put it with that poster to make more money. Which, to me, is, you just don't do that. So, I honestly, people, I was mad. I mean, I was, like, really upset that this guy was like that. And then I just have to understand that these people are of the world. I can't expect everybody to do godly things. But I have to go back now and go, I'm wrong. I have to do the godly things. I don't have to. I choose to. Because I follow God. And I follow His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ. Am I perfect all the time? No. Do I accept your guys' comments? Yes, good or bad. Just like I tell people, if you can leave a comment, I should be able to comment back to you without you getting upset. What difference does it make if I do a video on it or if I type it in words that you're most likely going to take wrong anyways? It's happened for years. People misunderstand what I'm trying to say to them, and then it becomes another whole issue. Well, let me tell you, I'm exhausted with that. I truly am. That's why I do what I do and how I do it. So, about the subscribe thing, I do apologize if somebody did watch these videos and got offended by what I said. I totally understand now why you say what you say. For whatever reason it is, good or bad, trying to profit your business or your channel because you want a gazillion things. And I see people celebrating their 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 subscribers and all this stuff. And that just means YouTube moves you up the channel there. I think this channel is at 1.4 or 1.5, I think. I don't know. But in the last week and a half, there hasn't been no subscribers. None. So I'm looking at it, what has changed? So I start doing the YouTube feedback and I'm looking through stuff, and a lot of people say that all I do is repeat the same stuff over and over and over. All I'm doing is bashing the children and doing this and this and this. So then I'm like, okay, well maybe that's not helping anybody anymore. Or maybe it's just going to help the right person when they come on. I don't know. So it's why I've kind of been quiet. I've been kind of just seeking God. And that's why I've been talking about what's going on with this elections and all this stuff right now. Because first of all, it's current and everybody's into it. I'm not saying I'm doing it because of that reason. I'm saying because I'm looking at how we should be looking at this stuff. My opinion, going into prayer about it, and you look at what's happening. You know what the main problem is? The main problem is so many people want to hear about hell. Christians don't really want to hear about hell. They don't want to hear all the gory stuff. They don't want to hear about what's happening with this Diddy stuff. And then you get the people that are claim to be Christians that are tuned in so much of it. Then I start going, you got to be careful because now you're taking time away from God. I honestly, somebody asked me, they said, on an honest opinion, I told them I would mention it in this video that I'm doing now. On an honest opinion, how many people do I think that listen to this channel is a Christian? A full Christian that actually believes in God, goes to church, reads the Bible, prays. A percentage. I said percentage out of what? Out of the 1,000 people? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, does 1,000 people constantly watch these videos? No. I mean, I could go back down the line of people that was there in the beginning that aren't there now. I could go, and I could honestly say this because the United States, the graph is real short. But I can tell you on these videos, when I see a comment on there, I can already, depending, because you got to watch, because I was like, how is there 5 comments on this? I didn't realize when I comment back to someone, that adds a comment to them. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's 5 people commenting. Well, I'm commenting on 3 people's videos or 2 people's videos. There's 4 comments. If somebody comments back to somebody else's, there's another comment. So you got to look at it like that. I never looked at it like that. I didn't think my comments back to people
miles ahead, turn right
calculated
on
in that
North
equation.
Madison Road.
But it does. So now I'm looking at all this and I'm going, all right, it's like tomato here. So I just wanted to apologize if I came off in any ways, because, you know, my thing is of this channel, I'm doing it for God. I'm putting out the stuff that I believe that He wants me to talk about. And yes, a lot of it's about family, but look how many people are struggling through families. Look how much kids are not listening to parents. Look how much parents are not being parents. They're being friends. Well, let me tell you, if you ever want to know how I know I'm right, you look at Justin Bieber today. Look what he went through. He actually just got done saying, well, I did it because I wanted the Ferrari. He made a song about it. But you realize that Ferrari come with a heck of a price, whether or not Diddy ever gave him the Ferrari. Probably not. Justin probably had to go buy it when he started buying all of his cars and stuff. But one thing about Justin that I said a while back, I said, look at him, look how young and pure he looks before he went to that 48 hours of Diddy time, whatever they're calling it. I said, before you know it, he's going to end up with tattoos all over him. Because he's going to start tattooing himself because of what they're doing to him. And what they're putting him through and what they're making him do. Isn't that something? Look at him today. You know, it's kind of hard because you look at him and go, well, Justin, you should have took off, man. You should have never got yourself into that. But you wanted that lifestyle so bad, so it's kind of hard for me to feel pity for him. You know, even though he was a naive young boy and he believed these people. But let me tell you right now, when you walk in a room and there's baby lotion and oil and all this stuff all over the place, and you got a bunch of grown men licking their lips like you're meat, most likely you probably should have got out of it. Now my question is, all these people that are confessing and coming clean because they don't want to go to jail. Now Justin Bieber, I would say, most likely falls on another avenue of this nonsense because he's more of a victim than he is that I know of. I'm just going off what he says. But then you look at this nonsense. I mean, let's really look at this. I mean, it's sick, people. This whole equation is sick. I mean, there is nothing in that. It's gross. All these Hollywood, all these stuff, and you look at what God's doing. God's exposing the demonic realm. God's showing you Satan's there. If this doesn't bring you to light what's happening around you, how fast, look, they found, what was it, 200-300 girls in an underground tunnel. Underground tunnel. How long were they there? And you think your girls and your sons and all that, they didn't care. It was from the ages, you look at from the youngest. The youngest, I think they said, was 9 years old.
1 mile ahead.
9 years old, people.
528 north is Ohio.
These Hollywood, these movies, these music artists were doing bad things. 9 years old. Think back when you were 9 years old. Can you imagine someone doing something? Not just one, 4, 5, 6 people? Over and over and over and over and over for days? It starts to make sense, the whole Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber thing. It makes sense that Selena was seen moving quickly away but walking real funny from Diddy in a video. I was like, what's wrong with her? Why is she walking so funny? And I thought because she was sick, because I believe she went through some stuff that I guess she almost died from or whatever. I don't really know a whole much about Selena Gomez, but it makes sense. You put Diddy in the picture, and Diddy confessed. He likes guys when he's in the mood for guys, but he also did sick things while all this stuff was going on. He's linked to Epstein Island. the Epstein Island guy, whatever his name was, I forget his name now, he was linked with Diddy. But guess who else is linked in the middle? Now you gotta pull these two apart and put the middle object that we're missing.
88 splits off.
The same person I spoke years back, Oprah Winfrey. I said, there's something wrong with this lady.
3.3 miles ahead. Turn
This
left
lady
on
is
Ohio
not this
608
all
north.
nice thing. Listen to her sarcasm. I said the same thing about Ellen. I said, Ellen's kind of nasty. I mean, just the way she does her guests and talks to people. You go back and look what Mariah Carey, when Mariah Carey was married, I mean, I don't know if she was married, but pregnant and lost her child. You go back to that time and pull up the Ellen show with Mariah right at the time she lost her child. What does Ellen do? She's trying to coach her into saying that she's pregnant. Ellen gets up, gets a bottle of champagne, trying to get, well, I can't drink this. Why? Because, who does that? It's none of our business. And look what happened. She ended up losing a child. But look how many people fall into Satan's traps. Look how many people that are fleeing. My question is, you talk too much. Is there a hit on Justin Bieber next? I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Because
2 miles ahead.
he's up there at a church gathering, telling people, Jesus and this, but he was also a follower of Christ before he got into this nonsense. You look at Kevin Hart, Usher, Beyonce, Ashton Kutcher. You look at his wife. You look at Justin Timberlake, Tom Cruise, and the Scientology crap. It's all part of all this. Will Smith. My gosh, people. Jay-Z, Beyonce. You look at the Grammys, when Adele won that award, look at her, she's up there terrified, shaking, crying, because they weren't supposed to win.
Turn left on Ohio 608
Jennifer Lopez is supposed to win.
State Road.
Beyonce's supposed to win. Nobody's supposed to be over them. Because that's the secret society you belong to. You're controlled. That's what Lucifer does. He controls you. And that's a good example of what's going on. I know people don't like to hear about this, but how many of you are glued into this nonsense? I'm telling you, you got to be very, very dang on careful how long you spend watching this crap, because it's going to consume you. It wants to consume you. It's like the OJ trial. Oh my gosh, man. People are glued to this garbage. I'm going through now and blocking everything off my freaking phone off this crap. I'm sick of listening to it. You ask me, anybody that was involved in there, I don't care if it's Justin Bieber, unless you're them people that they pulled out of that walkway, that tunnel, anybody else that was a victim, that was forced, and they had no choice but to do it. And I'm not talking about the people that wanted to further their careers. You all deserve to go to jail. Every single last one of you. Not just Diddy, not just Jay-Z and all the rest of the big names. I'm talking every single one of you. Ashton Kutcher, all of them. Will Smith, all of you. Anybody even watches any of their movies, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because all you're doing is putting money in Satan's pockets so these monsters can do what they're doing. Do you think that stuff's fake? I don't think none of it's fake. I truly don't. I truly don't. I think if Ellen, supposedly they said Ellen is fleeing the country Oprah's leaving and all this stuff. Who the heck knows? People are going to post anything at this point. They showed a video of Will Smith running to a plane. It might be true. Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, Leonardo's been here since a little boy, a young man, I should say, because we look at him as a little boy because he didn't look very old until he started growing facial hair. We go back to Gilbert Grape. You know, what's Gilbert Grape when he did I literally thought he was literally handicapped. And then when I found out he wasn't, I was like, man, he's going to be a huge star one day. Very convincing. And then you find out to be that, no, he's not really. He's just, they're moving him up and putting him in these Hollywood. Look at Will Smith. Will Smith's in the nasty dirties, and look at him. Huge movie star. LeBron James, we can't let LeBron James out of this, because LeBron James has been seen with pictures at Diddy's house wearing a maid's uniform and a wig and everything else, taking pictures of himself, because you got to do what they say to stay popular. Will Smith taking his kids into that nonsense. Diddy's wife coming out saying stuff about her daughters and stuff. Listen, people, do you really think his kids mean anything to him? No. And I believe that one child that he says he adopted, I believe he took her. That's just my opinion. I would love to see somebody bring paperwork to say that he legally adopted that child. You're not going to see it. And the fact of it is, because they're movie stars, or they're famous music artists, who's going to question it? I would be surprised if there's not more Hollywood stars that end up on these lists. It just shows you how nasty. And believe it or not, they played a video with Donald Trump. Now, before you hear what I'm saying, listen to this. They played a video with Donald Trump goes when I think it was when he was doing his apprentice show, whatever it was called, and he mentioned how well he knows Diddy and he likes Diddy. He's a good friend of his. Now, just because he said that, and he's posed in pictures with him at a restaurant or something, does that mean that Donald Trump's involved with that? That Donald Trump knew that stuff was coming? But they never showed him at an after party, the white parties. There was a video leak with Diddy saying, listen to this now. This is what he thinks of white people. So even you mixed people, you fall into this category. Because there was another one showing about how disgusted he is with white people. So that whoever it was a famous person, but you couldn't hear so much. You just heard the person screaming and what they were doing to him. So basically, they're repeatedly raping this person. Isn't that something? And so many of these artists are coming against him, and so many of these people are saying they had nothing to do with this. I'm here to tell you,
new message
it's
from
crazy.
Molly Carter. The second part. Subject. False. Playing body of the message. Good morning. Hope everyone is having a great day.
So now you got to look at this. What is going on, and where are we standing in the Bible? I can tell you right now, in my honest opinion, we are worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. We are so far gone, it's not even funny, people. And I'm telling you, it is ridiculous what's going on right now. If you guys cannot really seriously look out here and say that Jesus is coming, I was watching a prediction show. They was talking about television shows that has put predictions on that's actually come true way before took years. And one show came up 100%. Everything they have put on there, 100% has come true. And on this show, they did a thing about the rapture. Not too long ago. And guess what show it is? I about fell over because I remember some of this stuff. And they actually did a thing about Donald Trump. Somebody trying to assassinate him, or I think they did assassinate him in the skit. It was a cartoon. It's called The Simpsons. They did one on the rapture with all the stuff going on around us. And here we are today, exactly what they put. What does that tell you? I look at that stuff and I don't think it's so far-fetched because I've been telling you guys, are you ready? Or is this world more important? How is your prayer time? How are you right with God? It doesn't matter if your family is at this point, because let me tell you right now, I have reached out to my children. I have done the best by my children. I love my children. I just can't do it anymore with them. I can't put up with their lies. I can't put up with their ungodliness. I can't put up with their calling themselves Christians and go out and they're doing the things they're doing. Well, it's just smoking weed. No, it's not. No, it's more than just that. Your priorities are backwards. And I'm not a boastful man, and I'm not a proud man. I'm not a man of pride. At one time, I was very prideful. I was sure to tell you all the things I've done. I tell you all the things I've done now, and I tell you all the wicked I've done because I want you to see how God and the Lord Jesus has changed me. I want you to see that it is possible. But I tell you right now, many of you are going to be left. Many of you are going to be sitting here wondering, what in the world am I going to do? Many of you are going to quickly take on that mark of the beast, and your damnation is hell. Many of you that will take that mark will immediately be shifted to hell because he doesn't need all of you people up here. If you really think right now that we are not being prepped, why don't you go watch some of that Diddy stuff then? Because I think you really need to watch what's going to happen to you. You may say, well, Nelson, these guys are sick. They're perverts. They're animals. No, they're just sick. They're demonic. You're looking back when they were at the Last Supper. What happened was this. When he dipped the bread and Judas took a bite of it, what happened? He says, go and do what you must and do it quickly. And at that time, Satan entered him. Satan entered him. Satan entered him. You're not dealing with flesh and blood. You're dealing with evil entities that are inside your children, inside your spouses, inside your friends. And it's leading you into a darkness that sometimes it's like you are underwater and it's hard to breathe. It's like laying on the ground and somebody's taking bags of concrete and throwing it on top of you, on your chest, and telling you to breathe. After a while, you're going to pass out. Maybe die. How many of these children that came from the border, Kamala, Miss Kamala, that everybody's going crazy over. Do you guys know Kamala spent a lot of time with Diddy? Do you know that she spent time in these after parties? Whatever they're calling them parties. You all know that? Barack Obama, Michelle was seen standing in a hotel room with Jay-Z in them. According to the researchers, Barack Obama has been with men, with Diddy and all them. And this is what we're saying, it's okay to run our country. What do you think they're going to do when she takes office? She's not going to run the office, same as Biden didn't run the office. If you all think that, you need to really look back and look at life. I tell you what's going to happen. I tell you what I'm waiting to happen. I'm waiting for China to call their debt. I'm waiting for them to piss off Putin, and we're going to end up in war. Somebody asked me, who is the last country you could see us ever going to war with that you think would be a bad deal? Russia. You know why? And I'm not taking nothing lightly against any Arabs or any Middle Eastern countries, Germany or any of that stuff, China or anything. I'm not taking them lightly. Well, I'll tell you one thing I am certain on is Putin. What he says, he does. Now, I do believe Putin's very smart. The man you're not that fit. You don't go into martial arts and all that stuff and know what you know. The man's not a fearful person. But he's reasonable thinking. I will give you that. Because let's just think about this for a split moment. Here's why I say nuclear war is ridiculous. Hear me out. Because if somebody does nuclear war, it doesn't matter which country you attack with nuclear war. Eventually, it will hit your country. Now, it may not be as devastating, but you're still going to get the after effects of it. Depending on how bad it becomes. So I'm just saying. It is what it is, people. I tell you, there's nothing on this earth, and I've really been thinking about my life a lot more. And I woke up the other night. I'm still not feeling like 100%. I mean, I'm really only maybe 45, 50%, if that. I'm doing it good. I mean, if I didn't feel better than what I was, then I wouldn't even be driving. I mean, I literally called off for 2 days in a row. That's not like, I mean, if I was still doing landscaping, I'd still be doing it. Because I'm out, I'm moving around, and I'm not behind an 80,000 pound vehicle either. Putting everybody's lives at jeopardy. But also being quiet puts people's lives at jeopardy. Not speaking the truth about things because you're afraid something's going to happen to you. Nothing can happen to me. Somebody can pull a trigger and I don't breathe no more on this earth. And that's fine with me. That means I have fulfilled my purpose in life. I may never speak to another one of my children ever, and I'm okay with that. You know why? Because God is in control. I surrender my life daily to God and under Jesus. I ask Jesus, you're my shepherd. Lead me today on this pathway that God has created for me today from my birth to where I am today. Lead me, Lord, but don't leave me. Walk with me. Be in my life today. Help me make the right choices today. Let me walk in that glory of you and the Father. And may everything I do bring glory to you, which you take to the Father. And may you be both glorified and be favored and blessings to you both. We are here, people. What if Jesus came right now? And in that video, I seen another video that somebody did, and the guy was up there and he kept saying, let me say it again. What if he comes right now? What about if he comes right, and then all of a sudden, bam, the pastor was gone, and half the congregation was gone, and this lady walking in there, holding her husband's clothes up. This is all he's left. And then the Simpson thing came on, and I'm watching that, and I'm going, oh my gosh. Here we are. But yet, it's spiritual sleep. I mean, you got these churches doing all these freaking trunk or treats, these walk-through things, and we're just thinking it's okay to dress up in this. It's not okay. Take a fool's advice. I mean, look where I went. I went from dressing up like a ghost, dressing up as Darth Vader, dressing up as Frankenstein, dressing up as a dead walking zombie before the Walking Dead stuff come out, but we still had the Night of the Living Dead shows on. They were in black and white, but we still had them. And the next thing you know, I'm dressing up like Ghostface from Scream. I'm dressing up like Mike Myers, an asylum maniac, what I called the character. Pretty freaking gruesome. I dressed up in the haunted houses. The gorier, the gruesome it was, the better and happier I was. Again, I didn't really go after the women and children because it was too dang on easy. I went to drop them into the ground, and most of the time it happened. Oh man, what a rush that was! What a feed, man! You just felt whoa. It was like power. That's why I can tell you in hell when these demons are torturing you, on earth why they're coming at you and they're doing what they're doing to you. That is why I speak of what that is. They get power out of torturing you. They get power out of the fear they bring you on earth. I'm not wrong, people. I'm telling you the truth. You don't have to believe me to go there, but you're going somewhere. And once you enter into hell, it's too darn late. If you're left here, most likely it's going to be too late for you. Okay? Too late. You know why I'm saying it's going to be too late? Because you're not going to be able to deal with it.
Miles ahead, stay on Ohio 44 East Water Street as it turns right.
And that's just how it is. I promise you. I promise you. And if you want to take a challenge, I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you to take this challenge. Anybody. I want you to go outside and dig a hole. Just dig a hole in the dirt. Not a big one, just dirt. And fill it up with water. And leave it sit for a couple days. I challenge you not to eat for a couple days. And I mean like 3 days. And I want you on the 4th day to make your favorite dish and set it out where you can see it. Then I want you to go outside and look at that mud water, and I want you to take a nice big old drink of it. Don't clean it off, because whatever's in there is in there. And I want you to take that nice dish to your trash can and set it down inside that trash can. And I want you to eat out of that trash can. You may say, no, son, I'm not doing that. Oh, yes, you're going to do that. You're going to eat like that, or you're not going to eat at all. You're going to be scavenged through trash. You're going to be scavenged through mud puddles. You're you're going to be doing whatever it is if you don't take that mark. And sooner or later, they're going to imprison you anyways, because they're going to force you into it. And once you take it, they're getting rid of you anyways. And if you don't take it, they're going to end up taking your head off, because you're going to have to say, my Savior is the Lord Jesus Christ. As soon as you do that, they're taking your head off. You better hope that you're in the first bit of line, because they're not going to sharpen their swords. They're just going to keep whacking on your head and your neck until your head comes off. You know, so many people are sending pictures right now about Halloween. They're in their costumes, smiling, and all I'm thinking is, you're a fool. Take a fool's advice. You think people that has known me, known that all the life I've been through, the things I've been through. Some of them been through some of the demonic part in the beginning, and they're still celebrating Halloween. Yes, I was a fool. If I really would have known that everything I went through wasn't some sick, twisted dream, as the enemy put it in my head, I would have never allowed my children to go through that. But then again, the person I was with, good luck. When I wasn't around, she would do whatever she wanted anyways. So it was kind of like you were lost. Things I wanted them to do, they weren't allowed to do. But what she wanted them to do, she was letting them do, even though I said no. Now you can see why the kids do what they do. It's my own fault too. I should have just did away with it. Stayed, did what I had to do, and that was it. But I wouldn't have been able to been okay with myself. And that's the truth. I could stand here and say I did the best I could with the opportunities I had. And however they see it, that's how they see it. That's not my problem.
1 mile ahead, stay on Ohio.
But either way,
Water Street is in turn right.
you have to look at this concept. Are you able to do the unthinkable in the end times? No. Most of you can't. You won't be able to. And I know a lot of you going, bull crap, I wouldn't take that chip. I wouldn't take that mark. You know, and honestly, willingly surrendering yourself to Lucifer, that contract, I know some of you say, well, hey, believe what you want to believe. It's like saying, here's your cake, here, ice it, put it on you want, have your cake and eat it too, do whatever you want, and that's just how it goes. Because we want to believe what we want to believe. We want to go out and sin, we want to go out and do all this stuff, and we want to have the best of the best and continue to do all this nonsense because that's what the world says. We want to follow a fake, watered-down religion called you're going to hell. That's my new religion I'm starting. Guess what? You're going to hell. Now follow me. How many people, if I actually said, follow me, I'm going to give you everything of your heart and desires in your life, but we're going to hell after.
Stay on Ohio 44 East Water
Just
Street
look at
is
the
in
news,
turn right.
people, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They paid the ultimate price for their fame and fortune. And hell awaits them. Hell awaits them. Unless they can find Jesus between now and the time he comes. And may God have mercy on their souls for what they have done to these women, what they have done to these children, what the people that have allowed them to cross over, Kamala. Where are these people that we're missing? Where are some of these people that crossed over here, their children? Over 2,000 women and children missing. Well, I guarantee you start digging at Diddy's houses, you're probably going to find them. Hopefully they're still alive. Maybe not. Maybe it'd be best if they weren't. Maybe it'd be best if they don't have to live this crap the rest of their life, what United States did to them. We brought them over here so we could brutally rape them. Brutally do these bad things to them. Pump them full of drugs. This is what we brought them over for. So we can put their men into work. They're never going to get citizenship. We lied to them on that too. And y'all want to sit there and act like this is nothing. I'm never, ever, ever. Matter of fact, if I got any movies with Leonardo, Will Smith, I don't think I do. But if I do, I'm burning them suckers. Johnny Depp, shame on you, buddy. Shame on you. Don't stand up there and say, oh, I was never. Yeah, you were. You're a bull-faced freaking liar. There's pictures of you. There's footage of you, too. You're sick, all of you.
Stay on Ohio 44 West.
What the heck is wrong? I mean, I've been through some demonic stuff, but my gosh. That is just pure nasty. That is just demons. The Jezebel spirit is here. Man, you go back to the beginning of creation where Lili was there. Some of us call her Lily, some call her Lily. Whatever you want to call the demon, she is a demon. Satan took her under his wing, and became next to her. Well, I should say Lucifer. Well, that wasn't good enough. He had to turn her loose on the world, and look at what we have today. You may think, Nelson, all this is a bunch of crap. You're right. It is a bunch of crap because many of you are going to see it that way. You know why you're going to see it that way? I'll tell you why you're going to see it that way. Because the entities that around you don't want to hear this stuff. It doesn't want to hear. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear about the gruesomeness of it. You don't want to hear about you're going to be, if you rape people in hell, guess what? You better be used to it. Most of them sick, twisted people, it's not going to matter to them, but they're not getting no lotion. They're not getting, I mean, they even brought Costco into it. Costco said, no, not us. You didn't buy that crap from us. Look at all these people saying, oh, no, don't add me into this. It just goes to show you. And if you watch Kamala over and over and over and over through these debates and this campaigning, my God, people, she's like a yo-yo that just, it's like a magic 8-ball that's never right. A yo-yo that goes down but never comes back up. It's like the Batman figure Two-Face. You don't know which face you're talking to. And this is the person you want to put back into office. Haven't we had enough? I'm not saying Trump's the answer. Because it is kind of nerve-wracking to hear him say that, oh, Diddy was a really good friend of mine. Well, what has he done for you? Are you part of this nonsense? Honestly, if he's part of it, then he needs to go to jail. Don't think it's not going to come out. Videos don't lie. Diddy had more hidden cameras in his houses. Nobody's safe. He did that so he can blackmail people and make them do what he wanted them to do. Justin Bieber. But my thing with Justin Bieber, it's not like he shackled you up, did he? When you were out in public, you mean to tell me you couldn't run away from him? When you were up on them stage singing them songs, you mean to tell me you couldn't run to authorities and say, hey, he told me this and this, and he's doing this to me, and I don't want it. I'm scared for my life. I feel bad for you, but I don't. Eminem siding with Kamala. Shame on you. She's part of that house, Eminem. And you're going to put your faith and trust in that? What if your daughter was pulled into that Diddy thing that you speak against? I bet you wouldn't be standing there with Kamala then. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. sinking ship. And that's why I'm telling you, Jesus is coming. And I'm telling you, it's going to be so sad to see most of you still standing here. All I can say is, I'll be up in New York. And from what I see in these dreams and these visions, God will tell me to bring you or not to bring you. It's kind of like if you're not ready now, and He's not going to give you that chance then, yeah, you might as well just take your potlucks and run like everybody else is going to. Look at all these people running right now. That's going to be you soon. I'll say it again, that's going to be you soon. You fake Christians, you lukewarm Christian, you Christians that are serving two masters, you Christians that are hypocritical, you Christians that like to point the finger, you Christians that like to live the world's ways and not God's ways, you fake, false pastors, TJ Jakes at Diddy's parties. And people came against me. Nelson, you're on a skin color. No, I'm on every color. I don't care, you're nasty. Raping people, are you sick, twisted, little kids? No, you broke the border. You went over that boundaries. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. May these people that got out of that tunnel, may God have mercy on them and erase their memory from this. And Diddy's going to sit in prison. I'm afraid to eat food. I'm afraid somebody's going to poison me. Yeah, because you poison people. You sicko. You drugged them up. You made them drink out of this alcohol. You even talked about how you turned the heat on so to make the alcohol more effective. You're nasty. And anybody that followed suit with it. All over your stinking fame so you can live in a mansion. Well, I tell you what, I don't have to do any of your sick, twisted stuff, and I'm going to live in a mansion. Well, not so much the mansion. I'm going to the garden. That's where I chose to go. That's my mansion. And you know what's great about it? All you sick, twisted people that's wrapped up in this nonsense, rape, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, cartel, and all of you that are involved with it, let me tell you right now, when you're in hell looking into heaven, because don't forget the new kingdom will be lowered down, so you'll be all around heaven looking into heaven as you're being tortured, raped, tongues ripped out of you, skin peeled off of you, eyeballs popped out of your sockets. When you're all in there thinking, oh, this is so wonderful, let's have our big old parties, jump around on beds and rape people. Oh, wait a minute, you're the ones getting raped. Maybe the demons will even let the people that come over that you raped in the beginning, maybe He's going to let them brutally rape you too. Wouldn't that be a fun picnic? You can all have s'mores when you're done. Because that's what you think hell is. How about your rock and roll stars that thinking sex, drugs, rock and roll? That's what hell's going to be. I'm going to be in a band when I get to hell. Are you now? You're going to be in a band of people screaming. It's music to Satan's ears. But in the meantime, I want you to think about this as I end this video. As you do the sins you are doing, you will be guilty of the tears that Christ cries. All them people crying out, tears are flowing, pain and suffering they're going through, suicidal thoughts. You're guilty. Your blood, their blood, Christ's blood is on your hands. You think about that. You think about that while you rot in that cell. That cell is not your judgment. But when Lucifer gets a hold of you, oh, you better deal with Satan. You can mark my words. You might not believe me now, but you will believe me when you enter into that gate. Good luck. How powerful you think you are now, you're going to be crying like a little girl. Little scared girl that you raped. little scared girl that you stand there and did things to yourself to please yourself while you watched it. You sick, twisted monsters. May God have mercy. And I just pray right now in the Lord Jesus Christ's name, I pray for them victims. I pray for them people. I pray that all exposure is... I pray that all musicians, I pray politicians, movie stars, anybody that covered this stuff up, anybody that has gained lots of wealth off of this, lots of wealth where you have your own networking. You ever wonder how they afford all this stuff? Well, now I guess you know. Drug trafficking, sex trafficking. Sick. Oh, was I saying sick or was I saying six? I don't know. You say it fast enough. Six. Sickness. You can't say it without it sounding like 666. Try it. Try it fast enough. 666. 666. What are you hearing? What are you truly hearing? 666. 666. It sounds like I'm saying sick or six. Either one, you're both right. Either way you look at it.
2 miles ahead.
You're 666.
On Ohio 84 West Johnny Cake Ridge Road.
Watch your children. The enemy ain't done. Oh, you better believe Satan's pissed right now. And I'm in it. Oh, he's going to make havoc. See, this stuff wasn't supposed to be exposed until after we're gone, but God said, I will show all truth. He's shown it, people. So thank you, God. Thank you, Father. Thank you for today, for exposing all this truth, all this politicians, all of this nonsense in the world that we live in this United States that thinks that it just disgusts me. I don't even want to be a part of this United States anymore. You know, I understand that there's countries worse off than we do. Land of the free. This is what the land of the free gets you. This is what it gets you. Nothing. They're sick. But Lord, I just ask for peace in this. I just ask for understanding in this. And this is why I can't understand why people falsely accuse people of things and falsely accuse what this is going on. This is disgusting. And we got people that are supposed to be leading our country that may be involved in this. And one of them surely is. 3.5 years she was involved. Longer than that.
1 mile ahead.
To further her career.
Turn left on Ohio 84 West Johnny
Wouldn't
Cake
surprise me if
Ridge
the Bidens, the Obamas obviously are involved in it. What a mess, Lord. Father, forgive us for what we have done to this world. I know you said there will be no more great floods, but you know, and I'm glad you're a man of your word, because honestly, if we ever deserved for a flood to take us out of this earth, now would be the time to do it. I believe we are sicker than sick of more than Sodom and Gomorrah. This is beyond nasty. All of this. It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking.
0.3 miles ahead. Take ramp
And we're making a circus out of this by tuning into this crap, watching their movies, watching their TV shows, Ellen, Oprah.
Take ramp and then turn left on Ohio 84 West Johnny Cake Ridge Road.
I can't think of the other guy that does Family Feud and does all his other shows, but Steve Harvey.
0.3 miles
Shame
ahead.
on you,
Turn
Steve
left
Harvey.
on Ohio 84
Didn't think your name was going to
West
pop up now, what did you? Standing on there saying, I owe it all to my wife. Well, which wife? You owe it to both of them. They're the ones that helped you, made you all this. Supposedly you slept in a car. Supposedly you did all this. Now, truth of the matter is, that's not true, is it, Steve? Too many people are telling on you. When the fiddle stops playing, who's going to be standing there? I'll tell you who's going to be standing there. Jesus Christ. God help you if you're not ready. God help you. Love you guys. Until the next one.